Guys, we are going to do it's going to have to be in a two-part interview. Okay, we're good. Great. This
I'm
is
gonna
going
make
to be a
sure I
two-part
dive
interview.
deep.
Say that again, Pice. What did you say, honey?
I didn't mean to cut you off. I said I'm gonna make sure I dive deep. I'm gonna try to answer the questions as best as I
See?
possibly can, like in detail.
Yeah. I want you and me to get let's start here. Let's take everybody take off your shoes, relax and get comfortable. I want
Okay.
everybody to understand that this is a young man who joined a cult at the age of 18, you guys. And I don't take this lightly and I don't take it for a joke. There's a lot of people that I've seen on the internet that have taken their life as a joke. World News, he's taken their life as a joke. He's laughed about it. He calls it reporting and roasting, in which I don't find it funny when you see our young men and women out here trying to find a way in life and they run into people like Mr. Bishop. You know what I mean? So, with that being said, that's why I'm taking the liberty of doing these interviews. Now, with this interview is going to be a little different. Miss Cherry is going to do this interview a little different. And I'm telling you, this is going to get really close and personal. Because I have children this young man's age, and I want to really understand why. That's one thing I want to understand is why. So with that being said, Pice, you decided to join carbonation. At the time, was it called carbonation?
Yeah, it was. It was definitely called carbonation. It was still named that. It wasn't melanation as it was previously known as. It was just renamed and rebranded. It was called carbonation when I joined them.
Okay. Now, at the time you joined, what first of all, tell us what type of family do you come from?
I come from South Carolina. I come from a both parents home up until a certain age. Military. Dad was in the army. Medical field. Mom was in the medical field. Still is in the medical field. Uh, yeah, I had a brother, had a sister. I'm the youngest of the three. Um, yeah, I come from a very loving background. Like I went to an art school uh up until like I was like 10 or something like that. So like everything from gymnastics to yoga to keyboard classes to acting, theater, musicals, like all different type of stuff I was into as a child. You know what I mean? Dancing. It was like I really did have a bad childhood up until like my parents divorced and stuff like that. When they divorced, that's when nigga went to the hood and all that type of shit and had to go through some more shit. But other than that, it was like it was healthy. I feel like the whole process was like healthy looking at it in hindsight because a lot of wisdom came from it. As far as like after my parents divorced and what I went through and everything like that, moving around and stuff, all that type of shit. Can you hear me?
Oh, I'm sorry. I muted myself. What type of relationship did you have with your siblings?
Oh, a very good one. You know, siblings fight sometimes. Like me and my brother used to fight sometimes, shit like that. But like other than that, absolutely amazing. Like my sister is my best friend. You know what
Wow. So, first of all, what was your first, you know, interaction with spirituality? Because you were drawn to, well, were you drawn to Eliseo Bishop because of spirituality? And when was your first interaction with spirituality yourself? Like, when did
I mean?
you
But
first
like
come?
I was always into like spirituality, even when I was young. I don't know. My spirit is just. I don't know. I think my mom told me I got my granddad's spirit. So like I've been on my spiritual shit. Like I remember sitting in like fourth grade, like third grade, like about to take a test, and I'm over here in my head thinking like, what the fuck happens after we die? Like literally, like I remember when I turned 4 years old and I moved and I was a little bit more conscious. I was like, how am I more conscious? Like I was always just like a question asking type of individual. Like always, I was like having deep thoughts about spirituality at a young age. Like if I die, is it just blackness? Like, what happens to me? You know what I mean? Like, what would happen to me? I'm sitting there in class thinking that, or like, like I said, when I turned 4, I was like, how am I more conscious right now? This doesn't make no sense. Like, how am I able to think inside of my mind now? Like, that doesn't make no sense. I was not even able to do that like a year ago or some change. Like, this is way more. I'm in reality a lot more. You know what I mean? Like, how the fuck I was always like just curious about the mind. You know what I mean? Ever since I was young, I had like spiritual experiences too, like um shadow figures and all that type of shit. I figured out pretty much what that was. Like your mind can pretty much come up with images and stuff like that if you're sleep or like sleep paralysis, like all different type of little stuff. Like, but I was always into like the positivity of spirituality and like the growth within it.
Okay. That was a very good answer. So, searching for spirituality, is that when you started watching videos and so forth and so on? And
Yeah, because
then
it
you,
was like, yeah, my bad. I didn't mean to cut you off. Finish your question. I'm sorry.
I wanted to know, is that when you found Eligio Bishop?
Yeah, watching videos, stuff like that.
Okay.
Watch
And
hella spiritual videos.
who else did you watch besides Eligio?
I watched Young Pharaoh. I watched Brother Polite. I watched who else? Who else? Who else? Who else? Mad different spiritual teachers. I even ran into what's his face at one point in my life. What's his name? What is that dude's name? Infinite Waters. Goddamn, I watched Infinite Waters. I watched who else? Doctor said before a little bit. Well, not like deeply or anything like that, but like I came across Dr. Sebi. Who else? It's a lot of different people. It was just like some of them didn't weren't really popular. You know, it wasn't really about popularity for me. It was just about different perspectives on life, like Chinese culture, Japanese culture, Buddhism, Christianity, and stuff.
Okay. When was the first video that you can remember that you seen of Eligio
Now,
Bishop that caught your eye?
well, it was two different videos. I actually mentioned it in my first interview with you. It was the store one, the GMO one, and the never heard before information. And honestly, I think those are his two most popular videos. I think it got like a million views, if not
Wow.
more by that.
Okay. And in looking at those videos, when did you decide to reach out to him?
Well, I didn't even know he was on IG at one point, and then because I graduated high school early, so I was just working and doing me, and I eventually don't really remember how, but figured out he was on IG. I was like, okay, cool. Watching his IG videos and stuff like that, because I already planned to like at least try the lifestyle out myself. Like I plan on going to what is it called, Costa Rica, like the capital, everything like that experience, living closer to the equator and having that type of a lifestyle. As far as like being more closer to nature, being able to interact with it on like a freer level outside of the country, because you know it's just different. It's a whole nother environment that's a lot more healthier for humans and whatnot. But I reached out. I didn't reach out. I just joined the live, and then like I got invited into the queue or whatnot, and then yeah, he was like, oh word, whoop de woo, who are you, whoop de woo. I'm like, yeah, I'm Pice, whoop, yada yada yada. I'm rapping, blase blah, and all this stuff, and it's like he was like, oh, you should come join type shit. You can always come to Mexico if you would like. And at the time, I was surprised. I was like, "Oh, word, that'll be good for me because like I would have to worry about financing myself and stuff like that. It would all be
Who
taken care
invited?
of and shit like that." You said
Oh,
what?
okay. Who actually invited you?
What's the name? Alijo.
Oh, Eligio invited you himself.
Yeah, Ali. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah, Alijo. He invited me himself.
Wow. And so, upon arrival, did he do you like he did everybody else? Did he take your ID, your passport, and everything?
No, I kept my IDs. I never really. I don't. No one ever really gave up their passport. Maybe the women did or something like that. But none of the. I don't believe none of the. All the guys had the shit. So he never took my shit. The most he took was some pesos. Some pesos, and like a bank card that had nothing on it. Like I was already like, I'm not giving you money. I am offering my talents. You know what I mean?
Okay. All right. Okay, and so let's get dark really quick. Let's because I know everybody knows about, a lot about how you joined and so forth, and I don't want to really just go over that too much. When did you start noticing um when did you start noticing the toxic behavior that Mr. Bishop displayed?
I didn't really. Well, the first time I seen toxicity, I didn't know it was toxicity. I thought it was like something that they were going through, like some normal beef or something like that. But like maybe, oh shit,
Okay.
my bad. One of my friends hit me.
Make sure you put your phone on do not disturb. No, we're not starting at 12. He joined when he was 18, Puffin.
Hold up, give me 1 second. Somebody said they were
Okay.
following my friend. I need to text.
Okay. Is it now? Yeah, we're starting now, baby. No, we're starting right now. We were supposed to start an hour ago. Okay. We just started. And it's being recorded. Thank you. Pice, come out the blind for it. It's gonna make you go out, baby.
Oh, I got you. I got you. I'm back. I'm back. I'm back. But
Okay, okay.
okay.
Go ahead.
First time I noticed toxicity, I didn't know it was toxicity. Like I thought it was regular little relationship beef, but it was going through something with Velvet. When not probably like 4 or 5 days of me being there, she was trying to leave and everything. He was like, "Oh, whoop de whoop, uh,
Walk us through
prepare
that.
yourself."
Walk us through that
Okay, so
experience.
I got there.
Walk
Okay, so
us.
boom,
Yes.
I flew
Yeah.
in and everything, right? I flew into Mexico City, then I flew to Villahermosa. From Mexico City to Villahermosa, Aya was on that flight. I had no clue until like we got right before we about to get on the flight. She like approached me and was like, "Hey, are you Pice?" I was like, "Oh yeah, whoop de woo," and everything. So then we got there in Villahermosa, got off the airport. Rambo, Key, I say Key, that's his name. Yeah, Rambo and Flo, whatever. I don't know his name if it was Key or Flo, but Flo and Rambo picked me up, and he was there. Eligio was there too, but he was like in a car or something. And then we drove to the site in Palenque, and then when we Palenque, got out the car and everything. Everybody was lined up, all militantly and everything like that. Welcome, 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 welcome. And then I started helping out, putting up tents and stuff like that while the meals and stuff were being prepared for that afternoon. So after we got done setting up the tents and everything like that, that's when there was more people there too that had arrived with me, some females, and we were just introducing ourselves and whatnot and what we have to offer and things of that nature and our astrology and all that type of stuff. And yeah, we're just getting to know each other a little bit more. And it was just regular. It was just like regular. Everybody was like, "Whoop de whoop, nice to meet you." I think I went to the studio that day too, but like everything was cool. Everything was fun. Everything was normal, right? Maybe 4 or 5 days, maybe even three, perhaps. That's when like I said, I said in my other interview, I mentioned that he really did stay off in his own quarters, like his own areas and stuff like that, until it was like time to get online and teach, or like we were having like a family meeting or something like that. But like other than that, it was literally he was off. So I didn't know what the fuck was going on when it did pop off. So long story short, shit popped off, right? And it's just like I didn't know what was going on. Like the situation was so like brief. Like I was so like oblivious to like their whole relationship to the point where it was like, oh, they must just be going through something as a couple. And basically, she was just trying to go and everything. He was just upset. I can understand why and everything, but it was just like
What was
now I
being
have to
said?
keep it.
What happened? Explain to us what happened.
That's what I'm trying to tell you. I really don't know what happened. Like I was 4 days. I was there for 4 days. You know what I mean? I'm still new and fresh. Only thing
Right.
that I can tell from what I observed is like when a family meeting was called that night, it was like she was trying to go. Velvet was trying to go, and she was upset and everything like that. And then it was just like
Mm.
she got to the airport or something like that. But I guess she changed her mind. She came back. Like maybe 2 weeks later, maybe something similar happened. Another family meeting or whatnot. I'm like, oh, they probably just have like a one of those type of relationships where it's like it's hard for them to express their emotions to each other and whatnot. They don't know how to like deal with it properly. But like other than that, I didn't see an issue because I come from like certain areas in life. Like back when I moved, like I seen shit like that before. Like it was normal. Like you know what I mean? So like to me, it was normal. Like oh, whatever. Not knowing the whole full situation of like the gas, like how what she been going through for years before I even got there. You know what I mean? So she was probably fed up. Now looking back in hindsight, that was the first bit of toxicity I had noticed. You know what I mean?
Okay. So were they actually fist fighting at that moment, or they were just arguing?
Just arguing, just arguing.
Okay. Okay. And then, so things were pretty normal up until what point? When did the abuse start? When did the abuse start? When did you start seeing him get angry? When was the first? Not. Let me rephrase that question. When was the first
The
time you
first
seen him
time,
get angry enough to strike somebody?
enough to strike 6 months in, probably 6, 7 months in. It was like when Velvet was trying to leave. This time she was serious, and I guess he was like real upset. Like I was like doing music or something in my tent. And I just like heard some shit over the walkie, and like by the time I got to the actual like house, I don't know if y'all remember how it was set up, but like it was like tents outside, and then it was a big like it was some acres or whatever. So like you had to travel a little bit to get to the house or whatever. Like it wasn't just like it was right there. Like no, you could be a little far out. I was far out. I like to stay to myself. But anyways, I heard something over the walkie. I'm like, okay, what's going on? I go, and that's the whole infamous video of him hitting her or something. I never really watched the video. I didn't even see what happened, but I'm pretty sure he hit her or she hit him or something like that with the baby with Eliana in somebody's hands. I don't know if he did it or if she, but this is what I do know for a fact.
Pause.
When I
Pause.
got there, yeah,
Wait a minute. Pause for a minute. Sunflower, did you pay your $10? Okay, Kimberly, I know you paid. Did Sunflower answer? I did. That's how I ended up with the code. Okay, I just wanted to make sure because some people were saying they were able to get in without the code. Okay, go ahead, AP. Continue. I'm sorry, baby. Go ahead. Continue.
you completely fine. I understand. You trying to make sure no creepy motherfucking lurkers.
Yes. Come on, AP. Let's get it, baby.
All right, so like, where was I at? Yo, I was telling you what I can say for a fact is once I got there, shit was already heated. The situation had already escalated, and by the time I got there, it was like me. I think Pure was there, light skinned dude. I think, but I'm definitely sure I went up there. He was like, go upstairs, check on her or whatnot. So I went upstairs and checked on her. She was just cutting her hair off. She was like going crazy, like mad, like hysteriously, like mad hysterical, like. I tried to get scissors from her, like, yo, you sure you wanna? I backed up a little bit, like, hey, look, I know you mad, but like, you gonna have to calm down with them scissors. Like, she hitting the door, trying to explain to me what the fuck was going on. Like, how the fuck he boom, 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 all this other shit, hitting the door with scissors in her hand,
What's she
proceeding to
mad about?
chop off her head.
What was
She
she
was mad about,
saying? How he what? He was
okay, so
cheating?
like, yeah, the polygamy and all that shit.
Oh.
She was mad about the polygamy, but I'm sure it was probably a lot deeper than that. Obviously, it was more psychological. It was like it was probably she was probably a lot more than just the polygamy. To be honest, she was probably going through, I'm sure, psychological abuse. Like I'm sure gap, all of those things. love bombing and everything else. So like I'm sure she was already fed up about his behavior and how he is as an individual. By the time that she started cutting off her hair and shit, like she was probably already mad as shit at him. But anyways, I went up there and she was like, I went up the stairs, I hit a left, I went inside their little upstairs quarters, hit another left, there's her bathroom, and she's in the bathroom in front of the mirror, hysterically chopping off her wig locks or her dreads or whatever, her freeform locks. And while she had these
Mm,
big ass scissors in her hand, and she was just mad, fucking like angry, like super, like you know how women get when they extra upset,
mm.
like yeah, don't play. Y'all know how they get like loud, don't really care. Like she got scissors in her hand, swinging it everywhere, like mad,
Wow.
eyes about to pop out her head, like real upset about the situation. I'm just trying to make like, hey yo, you put the scissors down, like you know what I'm saying? That's what's on my mind. I'm like, hey yo, can you put the I'm gonna need you to put them down real quick because like this is not. I don't know what you about to do with them scissors and whatnot. So, anyways, everybody come upstairs. No, that's a whole different one. That's another one. That was right before we got down left, I think, or right before she left. But, anyways, everything calmed down, and then I think he went live that day or the next day or something like that, explaining the situation. And that's around the time she was trying to leave and everything like that. So I think that's when she actually did leave. But before that, another situation popped off where they actually fought. Like they actually straight up fought. And it was like, damn, what the fuck? And it's like, I've seen that too in the hood. I've so at this point I'm like, damn, y'all got a relationship like this? This is crazy. Me not like knowing how he actually is. I'm thinking they really like they don't know how to properly evaluate their emotions for each other and whatnot. They're kind of like emotional immature a little bit.
Okay. Ooh, that was traumatic. So you watched that go down. Now at the time, who was all there in the
Uh,
tribe time? I know it was True. Name the
it
people
was
that were in the tribe at that time.
it was me, Aaron. Who else was there? I don't know Flo and Key's real name. I believe they were there too, but they were there. Grace, I
So,
believe is her name. Uh,
hmm
that's the one that's married or with Rambo or whatever. That
right.
got the key. It's in her.
Serenity.
I believe I could be wrong about this one, but his woman was there. What's her name? Vibes or Water, whatever her name was. Her. She was there. Who else? I said Aaron, me, Musa, Solar, of course. Uh, I don't know if Ish was there yet. Caliber. I don't know if Cali was there yet. But
Tori.
you said what?
Tori. Joy.
Oh, she might have been there too. See, you bringing me back. Like, yeah, she might have been there too for real, for real. But the main people, the ones everybody
Solar
know, was definitely there.
wasn't there yet.
Who?
Solar.
Yeah. So Solar, Musa, Aaron, me, Key, Rambo, Grace, Flo. I mean, what's that? His woman, whatever her name was. Um,
Mm.
and then I think I'm there. I
Loyal.
think that was no. I don't think he was there yet. No, he wasn't there yet.
What about
See, I don't know.
Haku
I'm not too sure. He could have been.
Hakunim? What's his
Oh,
name?
Tron. Yeah, that's his name. Tron.
Tron.
Almost forgot. I almost forgot about Tron. Yeah, Tron was there most definitely.
Okay. So that was the first instance you seen. Now, was he drinking at that time, or was he on any drugs at that time?
He always been drinking wine. Wine. He
Do
was a
you think he
terrible
was an
boy.
alcoholic?
Yeah, for sure. Absolutely.
Okay, so you definitely was he
Definitely
on
was an
any type
alcoholic.
of drug at the time?
No, no, he was very what's the word I'm looking for? Like rigorous or like disciplined are two words I could think of when it came to like weed, when it came to anything but wine.
Mm, okay.
Yep.
Now, while the aggression and the violence were taking place, were you guys also having orgies at that time?
In terms of like who the women, probably, I'm sure they was probably do whatever they was doing. That's a question for them. I wasn't present for none of that.
Well, let me tell you, I have a video. I have
Hmm.
videos nobody knows that I have. But since we're doing an intimate video interview, I'm going to bring it up. I have a video.
Okay.
It's a very short clip, and everybody's on pallets, but they're interacting sexually. They're naked and they're interacting sexually with other people. Everybody's and this was, I believe, this was when you guys were in Honduras. It may not have been Honduras. Let me think.
Is it before or after Mexico?
I want to say it was after Mexico. This is when Joy was trying to leave. This is just before Joy was trying to leave.
You see me in the video fucking somebody?
You were there because at the time you were with Malia.
You see me fucking Belia or some shit like that?
No,
Because
I
that
didn't see
never.
you fucking Malia. Well, see, I ain't got to that yet. I didn't see you fucking Malia. The video is pixelated, but I did see. I'm gonna tell you who I seen. I seen
Okay.
Sheba on the floor with Nature Boy. She was on one side, Nature Boy was in the middle, and Velvet was on the other side. I seen Aya, but Aya was with somebody else. She was on her little pallet over with somebody else naked. Caliber was definitely there. I believe he was with Efro at that time. It was so
They might
many
have been
people
doing.
who are
Hey,
fucking.
look, I'll tell you what. They, I don't know if everybody was fucking or no shit like that, but I never participated. If they was, I ain't fucking know. You know what I'm saying? That's just some weirdo shit.
So maybe it was just before you got there because right after that, that's when Joy or Tori, that's when she wanted to leave and Tron was chased her down and was holding her. It was maybe a few days before that.
Damn, I don't even remember that shit. I think I don't even remember that shit. Nah, that nah, hell no, no. I'll say that. No,
So
they
maybe you
probably was
weren't there
doing
at
some
that
shit.
time.
They was probably doing some shit
Okay. So, and this
because we
was
slept in
recorded.
Palace. Yeah, we been in Palace plenty of times. Like as a family, like in Panama, we all watch movies together or shit like that. We be on our little palace and everything. Everybody be there watching movies and shit like that. You know, so it's like
Okay.
I really, in all honesty, don't I really don't think that that's impossible. Like them niggas could have been fucking, like, you know what I'm saying, like real shit.
Okay. Okay. So
But
you
it's
didn't
not like
experience.
brother. Yeah, it's not like but yeah, hell no, hell no. It wasn't hell no.
Okay. So let's go into this while we're on the subject. Now, you and Malia were in a relationship at one point in time, right?
Yeah, in Panama and then in
Okay. And
Atlanta.
this was in
So
Panama.
Panama. Hmm.
Okay. So Panama was that big house with the backyard and all the fruit trees and everything in the tent that was in the backyard where Mama Dia passed away.
No, that was Mexico.
That was Mexico. Okay. That's where I'm getting mixed up at.
Yeah,
Okay.
that was Mexico. Yeah, Panama was like the mansion type house. Like if you ever seen the music video
Yes.
Deity, that one where I was like activated dormant genes, I'm a mortal G.O.D. of a deity. That one right there, I was like, that was Panama. If I don't know if you remember the video, it was like a mansion on top of a mountain.
Okay.
And that was Panama. I was with her
That
in
was
Panama. That's when Velvet came back. He was saying like, "Oh, I'm done with polygamy," just to get her back, and then try to reel all the women back in. But what happened was he split all the women up and like was like, "You hold her down, whoop de woo," and all this type of shit. Like y'all be together, like making it seem like he's changing, like I'm good, like whoop de woo, like like how he manipulates shit. But anyways, he manipulated the situation to where he quote unquote gave the women to us or whatnot or whatever you want to fucking call it. But it was all an act of manipulation just to get Velvet back. So that's how we got together. And
wow.
that was right after Sunny had left and that whole situation popped off with the waterfall and all that shit. Like you can't go, you're not in tune and all this other shit, which in all actuality, again, another manipulative move was him just mad because he just couldn't fuck my baby mama. Like that's all that was. Like he been trying to get on her, but she been was like dodging this nigga. So I guess this nigga was fed up. You know what I mean? So like that was was that whole situation about her leaving, and then Velvet had came back and he gave the women away, and that's when me and Malia first got together. And then we got raided, and he left. He got deported or locked up or some shit, and like we were still in Panama. So yeah,
Wow. Okay. I'm gonna stay on Malia, but then I want to go back retro back to Sunny. Let's stay with Malia first, really quick. Now, you and Malia, did you ever have real feelings for Malia?
yeah. What point? Because like when my baby mama left, it was just like obviously that's a hurtful situation, but like I was accepting it for what it was. Because like outside of the manipulation of a Lee Ji Ho, we were already having our own issues and stuff like that. Many red flags, and like looking back in hindsight, I would never like participate in a relationship with her. But I was hurt. So then when Malik came along, I was just explaining to like her that like what I'm going through. Like this is all fresh. I'm still like this is a fresh feeling of hurt. You know what I mean? So like so when I told her that and everything, I guess we bonded a little bit or whatever. But like, because she was going through her own situation with her son and everything like that, and I kind of was going through a similar situation. So it was like, I don't know, like niggas connected on that a little bit, and like we had similar, we were compatible as far as astrology, like, and outside of astrology too. It was just like we both have like a lot of Pisces energy and stuff like that, but we meshed well, like we connected well and whatnot, and feelings were developed. But like, I don't know, I kind of like was numb to like those feelings because everything else, like I really wasn't paying attention to those feelings like that. Because it was like I never planned to get with her, nothing like that. It kind of just happened. So like, once feelings were developed and like everything that happened, they were like they went away. But they like I don't know what to say. Like
Oh,
they were numbed. Like that's the best way to put it. Like those feelings were numbed. You know what I mean?
wow. And is that because he kept taking her from you and giving her back?
Yeah, and it was just like I'm good, By the time like the second time that shit happened, like in Atlanta, I was like over it, you know what I mean? Like I'm over
Right. Okay. And so, Sunny, how did you feel about Sunny Pice
it. In all actuality, like I was like in terms of like just in general or like after the fact.
in general?
What you mean? That was my baby.
Like when you,
I love
I
baby.
know, but I want you to explain that's how you got to take us on the ride, baby. We're here for the ride.
All right,
So,
so
I want
like
to tell us
it was
how you
probably
felt
six
about
months in. It was like 6 months in, and she reached out to me off of me roasting young Pharaoh. I was telling young Pharaoh like, bro, why are you charging people for information that they can get online, like or whatever? And I guess she was attracted to that and everything, so she reached out to me. And when she reached out to me, she was texting and everything like that. She was like from where she was from and everything. She was telling me. And at that time, I was really like trying to push her away. I was like, all right, well, whatever, you know what I mean? Like, I really was not focused on women. Like, I'm trying to tell y'all, was not focused on women at all. I was really focused on music. So I was like, okay, cool. Like, if you trying to come, just here's what's the name's number if you want to hit him up and everything like that. And I guess she hit him up, and the next morning I was doing what I do, and he hit me up like, hey yo, this your shorty, da da da. Like he trying to come be with you and whoop de woo. I was like, all right, boom, cool. Then I started talking to her and stuff like that, and then eventually she came. Now once she came, more feelings were developed and things like that. And yeah, she ended up getting pregnant. So that solidified our relationship even more. But like over time, she just and at that point, fully in love, fully all of that stuff, like all of that. So honeymoon stage,
Oh,
all of that type shit. So like eventually though, not only because of things that I personally seen within her, but like the manipulation, it was just kind of like I was just kind of slowly and slowly being more like, what's wrong with you? Like, what's wrong with you? Like, you always seem to have, and I don't want to talk about her badly too much because she's the mother of my son, but I will say that like she has her own issues and shit like that. Like, I still
girl,
have
damn.
that. Like,
Right.
you know what I mean? So like, yeah,
I get it. I get it. Okay, so Sunflower asks, how did you feel about Nature Boy putting a wedge between you and Sunny? It was very obvious when it happened.
Okay, this is the part that no one knows. I don't know if I hide it well, or I don't know if people don't listen. But this is probably my like 10th time over like the years explaining this shit. I even just said it now. Like we
Mm,
have our own issues outside of him. You know what I mean? So
mm.
so there was already
Right, I
red flags.
get it.
You get what I'm saying? So like him doing his
He
little
didn't cause
manipulation and all that shit was kind of like kind of null and void because eventually that shit was gonna happen anyway.
it. Gotcha. So when he made some Sonny jump off the rope into the water at 8 months pregnant, how did you feel about that?
Well, one, I seen pregnant women jump off a cliff and happily do it excitedly. So it wasn't really like it's just a preference thing. That whole shit was blown out of proportion. Like that whole situation was blown out of proportion. I seen people that couldn't swim jump and get saved. Like people's ready. Like okay, like four people get in the water just in case anything happens. You know what I mean? So like I really was just like, okay, I understand why you're not jumping because you can't swim and you're afraid to and everything like that. Okay,
Right.
don't jump. You know what I mean? Like I'm looking at her like I'm not about to like be like, oh, jump or like do what you want to do. You know what I mean? Like you don't want to jump if you feel like I mean, in that moment, she was looking for me to be like to reassure her and stuff like that. But the only thing I had to say was, you know what I mean, like if you don't feel like jumping, don't jump. You know what I mean? Like don't do it. So like when we got back to the house and everything like that, honestly, like I said, it was y'all think it's about the waterfall. Y'all think, oh my god, he tried to make a pregnant woman jump. There's videos they might still be there of pregnant women jumping higher. This was not a big. This was not even a cliff or no shit like that. This was like
Mm,
one of those situations where it's like a tree and a tire in a river or so like a lake right there. Like one of those. It wasn't like motherfuckers was jumping off 15 goddamn feet or some shit like that. I seen people jump off like that type shit pregnant. Specifically Mama Sheba, specifically Joy. So it's like I've seen people do that shit like excitingly ready and everything like that and come out completely fine. So I wasn't really tripping on the
mm,
fact that she wanted to jump like and it wasn't people blow shit out of proportion and everything like that. But like I said, in all actuality, what it really was, what y'all not paying attention to, or something that maybe y'all
mhm.
oblivious to it effect or not really peeping, putting together, that whole situation was the perfect opportunity for him to try to get her up out of there. So
Because he didn't want you being close to her.
out of his own insecurities, because he probably felt like she belonged to him for his little sick, twisted ways. Because she's
Mm-hmm.
there and he's the Messiah, and he's God, and all this other shit, and all this other dumb shit. Like,
Right,
oh
right.
yeah, you know how he, like I said, he been trying to like get at her since Mexico and some shit. Like, oh, you're shorty looking at me. Da da da. What's going on? We got to have a meeting. Da 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 da. Like all that type shit. Like, nigga was just insecure. Still is stupid.
He's always been insecure. Absolutely. Okay, so now, were you around when Mama Dia passed away?
Nah, I joined like right after that whole situation, maybe like a month or like something like that, maybe 2 months even.
Did, now, I want to ask you an honest question. Do you believe Nature Boy had anything to do with Mama Dia passing away?
Well, now I think that he was. I just think he didn't give a fuck. That's what I think it was. I think he just did not give a fuck. I think
Give a
that
fuck.
about her, about taking her medicine or whatnot. I think he just didn't give a fuck. Like I think that it was her decision. I'm sure if he was, but then again, I can't trust shit he say. But like from what everyone else has said though, like she was totally. But they could have been lying. I don't know. I was there, but like from what everyone has said, according to them, it was like everyone was aware of her heart condition. Everyone was aware that she was like, I'm not trying to take that medicine because I'm out here
Wait
already.
a minute. Say that one more time. You said everybody was aware of her heart condition?
I'm pretty sure everyone was aware of her heart condition. Like it was like a known thing. I'm pretty
Okay.
sure.
So I want you to stop right there. I did a pre-interview with Tron because I was going to interview Tron before he pulled out. And Tron told me he had no clue that the lady had a heart condition.
Well, there you go. Like maybe it was just wasn't there that dude. Like she only told him. That's the wrong person to tell because he probably didn't give a fuck. You know what I mean? But from what he
No,
said, I think
he said he wished he would have, but go ahead, love.
you said say that one more time, Cherry.
Tron said he wished he would have gave cared more because he would have made sure she got her medicine.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But I don't know. I can't talk to the lady. She's deceased now, but like I have no idea, man. Because from what he said, and I can't trust it. If he's the only, you got to think. If he's
Like
the only one that knew, if he's the only person that knew, and he's saying that like she was basically being like, no, I don't need this medicine. I've been on it for years. It actually causes more issues than it doesn't. That kind of makes sense to me because like medicine does do that to you. And at her
mhm.
age, she was tired of it and maybe thought that the knowledge or like being in that environment would at least help the
Or nature boy.
situation. Like, yeah, but like, see, the thing is, I can't trust that.
Right. I understand what you're saying. I definitely understand what you're saying. So, looking back, you said he just didn't give a fuck if she took the So, where was her medicine at? What did he do with her medicine? Where was it at? Do you know?
I was not there for the
I
situations.
know.
You see what I'm saying?
I,
So I don't know. I never asked that question. I never even thought about. I don't even know if she brought medicine with her. You know what I mean? I don't know if she brought her last
uh,
prescription with her or something like that. I don't know if she was like completely
right.
dubbed it before she got there. I don't know. I don't know if she was planning on ordering it and he was just like, "Fuck it" or something like that. I have no idea.
Wow. Okay, I get it because she had already passed away by the time you got there, right?
Yeah.
Yeah, okay, okay. So now we're up to speed. Sunny, she's left. Nature Boy is okay, so he hasn't been taking drugs at this time, as far as you knew. So
No.
he was just drinking a lot, you said, and he definitely could have been an alcoholic. Okay,
Definitely.
when did you see his anger and his aggression progress to instead of
Uh,
every once a week to every other day? You know, when did you see that
see,
in him? His demons come out more, as you guys say.
like motherfucking right after Mexico, so like it started in Mexico and it increased probably because after Mexico, we went to where did we go after Mexico? We traveled through all of the different little countries, and then where did we land? Where did we stop at? I'm trying to think. What was after Mexico? Was it Nicaragua? Was Nicaragua after Mexico? Or was it? It was Nicaragua, probably. I think it was Nicaragua. So, like Nicaragua, he was just tripping. He was always tripping. Like the violent shit, he was tripping, like angry, like being more trying to be more intimidating and shit like that to like the women and sometimes the men. But like the aggressive side of him was always there, but it increased probably like right when Velvet started leaving and all that type of stuff. I guess he was super upset about that and just couldn't get over it. So like plus probably everything that was going on, all the messages he was probably getting and how people perceived him and shit like that was probably getting to him too. So like I say because you got to think everything was nice and smooth before that whole situation. Hello, you muted.
I said, okay. I said, right. I said, so now the lunatic is starting to come out. The lunatic that you guys didn't know that he had deep inside of him. The psychosis is starting to come out now at this point
Yeah,
in time. And what I was asking was, did you ever know? Did he ever talk about being a mental patient? Did he ever tell any of you guys, I used to be in, a mental hospital? Did any of you guys know that?
yeah. He did. He talked about it plenty of times. He talked about it on live. He talked about it behind the scenes and
Hmm.
everything like. But from what I heard, I really can't trust how long he was in there or what he was diagnosed with as well. So like what he said, according to him, was after he got out of prison when he was young, he was like 19. He went to a mental psych ward because he tried to commit suicide. So they had to, by procedure, immediately put him into the psych ward and be evaluated. At the time, I guess that's the laws. I don't know if it's still like that, but yeah, he went to there. He said for 2 years, and he said he was diagnosed with what was it?
Schizophrenia?
I really didn't forget, but I don't know. I really don't know. If, I think he was diagnosed with all of that shit. I don't know. Give a fuck what nobody talking about. I think that nigga had every one of them shits: PTSD, narcissism, fucking schizophrenia, bipolar, all of that. I think he had all of it, to be honest.
Personality disorders. He definitely had personality disorder.
Yeah, he definitely had
Okay.
quite a few, I believe, and they were on the extreme side of things, and he definitely talked about it. But I don't know if that was before he went to jail or after, or was it really 2 years? What did he really get diagnosed with? You know what I mean?
Hmm. Okay. So I have a
These are questions I
video.
ask myself about that.
Oh. Okay. So I have a video that I want to play for
Oh, was
you.
it 6 months? I don't know. Okay.
Yeah, he was. Yeah, 2 years is a long time. Hold on, you guys. We're gonna delve deep. We're getting ready to get a little deeper.
I don't
I
know
have
if
a
it was two
video
years.
that I want.
He might have said 6 months. Okay, I'm
Okay.
listening.
But it
I'm ready.
was quite a bit of time. It was quite a bit of time. So let's get back on track,
Yeah,
please. So
still.
there's a video that I want to play that Velvet is talking about him catching a case over in Honduras, I believe, but it's with a minor child. So now we're getting ready to really get into some things. Give me 1 minute and let
Mm.
me pull up the video.
Hmm.
It's some bullshit because they're naming people that are not even here in carbonation anymore. Give me a minute. I'm gonna pause this for just a minute, you guys. Okay.
Boy, she got the
So this
tea.
is a video. Yes, this is a video that I compiled myself. And I have many videos on
Right.
Eligio. But this is one video that caught my eye in particular, and I want you to listen to it.
Hmm.
And in the video, it's Velvet speaking. So let me go
Hmm.
ahead and pull it up. I have it up already.
He
It's some
turned up.
bullshit because they're naming people that are not even here in carbonation anymore. Hold on a minute. If you want to pull it up and hear it,
No, I can hear it. I can hear it. I'm reading too.
okay. It sounded like you said turn it up. Okay, let me go ahead. I'm
You
gonna
did,
bring
but
it
it
back up
started
again.
playing. Yeah, yeah, I can hear it. I can hear it. I'm reading
Okay, I
the
want to make sure
article
you.
too.
Okay. Oh, you're gonna see the article. Just give me a minute. I'm gonna start it over, you guys. Article that they have on us is some bullshit because they're naming people that are not even here in carbonation anymore. This is the article, you guys. They're trying to say that Chief is a pedophile and that he's also sexually trafficking. Do you hear this? This is over
Yeah, I hear it.
Nicaragua. So he got caught up
Okay.
in Nicaragua, and they're calling him a pedophile. This is before Janae ever said he raped her. They're calling him a
Yeah.
pedophile. Listen to what she's saying now. That is not true. He was just physical evidence or any type of anything to arrest him for. The Nicaragua Managua article that they have on us is some bullshit because they're naming people that are not even here in carbonation anymore. They're trying to say that Chief is a pedophile and that he's also sexually trafficking women here. That is not true. He's a pedophile and he's sexually trafficking women. Now I'm gonna get deeper with it. Just let it finish. People just come up with all these weird ass misconceptions, like he take out money from us and all of this stuff. Like that shit is not true, bro. Like we give our money to the chief when we get here willingly. We're pooling our resources together. What's wrong with that? Nothing. Chief is in jail from fraud online, and the Nicaraguan government. I don't know how long he's gonna be up there, but he shouldn't be. Chief is all that we have. Period, and we have to take care of him. So, you guys, this is proof that he has charges. And this is it says he was exiled from Costa Rica in October 2017. His sexual charges go back before October 2017, y'all. When you
Right.
originally when you originally came to carbonation, I'm sure you didn't know this. So I'm gonna finish playing this because I feel like this is an important part of our interview.
Okay.
This is the
Absolutely.
article. Charges. And this is the article. I'm gonna scroll through it. You guys can read it. And I'm gonna scroll through it. Excuse the 1990 noise in the background. And I'll leave it right here. Okay, so that's one video that proves that he has international charges. All right. So those are just his international charges.
Yeah.
Okay. When I say
What's your
we're gonna look into the mind, hold on, y'all. Let me come back. When I say we're gonna look into the mind of a lunatic, I'm not joking. This is not a game. This is not roast and reporting. This is not a game, you guys. So hold on. Let me go ahead and calm down again because this is totally not about me. This is definitely all about you, your experience, and everybody else. Therefore, okay. So did you know while you guys are traveling to those different countries, because that's just one baby, there's many more, that he was catching charges, sexual charges in these other countries?
Nah, hell no, I didn't know that when I was there. But afterwards, I still didn't know the like details, let alone that he actually had charges. But I kind of put it together. Like I was like, okay, it has to be a deeper reason of why he's traveling at such a high intensity the way that he does. It's probably he's running from the police.
One reason. Did you know that one of the compounds that were used for sex trafficking for children?
One of the compounds?
One of the compounds you stayed at um
Which one?
is listed. They have what they call like let me see if I can explain it right. What they call they have these houses over in other countries. They have houses, and the houses are along a trail. And when like or people come, they have these sick fetishes. They go to these houses to get their fetishes. They can do
Experience the
their little,
fetish.
yes, their fantasies, so to speak. I don't want to.
Right. Hello?
Okay, so yeah, so in one of the houses that one of those compounds where you guys were all staying was on. It's like, how do I explain it, you guys?
Wait,
They
hold on.
have like a
Hold
trail. It's like a
on.
trail of houses, almost like an underground railroad type of thing. But it's for people who go. They travel they travel to these countries to live out these sick fetishes. This shit is real. And one of the compounds, what people believed, and I noticed there are some records. There are some records with baby Jaumi, with Children's Protective Services once he got back into the United States. So what I'm
Yeah.
saying is to say this. I don't know if this is true or not, but I'm asking you. Was baby Jaumi ever used for any type of sexual trafficking, or did he sell him, rent him out, or anything as far as pictures? Because they'll take pictures, naked pictures of kids, and sell them to people. Anything that you know of, was baby Jaumi ever, ever, ever,
No.
ever used for any type of okay? Because when we all found out that that house was one of the houses along that trail that the people go to, the first thing everybody thought is they're selling that baby. And I'm telling you what people think. Now I don't know if that's true or not, but I'm telling you what people think.
Yeah, I mean,
So as far as yours,
things
no.
like that, that's completely understandable and comprehensible why people would think that. I mean, come on, there was a baby there. That was a house that was previously used for sex trafficking kids or whatever, like
Right.
fetishes. So like it would make sense that they would think that, but from what I know, absolutely not.
Okay. Now I'm asking another question. Did you ever know about Nature Boy messing with a 16-year-old young girl? He met her at a cafe, and I believe you guys were in. It might have been Panama at the time. I may have the country wrong, but the mom popped up, and the mom is the one who went to the police department there in her country, and she wanted him arrested, and he left immediately. He left the country. You guys all left the country.
Okay, so look,
A
now
16-year-old
that
girl.
was believe I wasn't there when that happened, but I was told, but never told that she was 16. I was told, and it was like mentioned rarely. It was barely mentioned, but like
The story is
it.
true.
Oh, I know it's true. I'm not doubting
Okay, go
that
ahead.
it's
Take us
true
through
at
it.
all. Yeah, yeah. I just remember. First of all, let me get this straight. I was not there for that situation. Like this was before Mexico. Mexico, like I said, I believe he was, and as it is, it is true. He was running from the police, pretty much. And when it was told to me, it was just like the only reason it was brought up is because it kind of broke his rules. That's the only reason why that shit was brought up. His rules was like, we only fucking with women that's on the frequency and whatnot. So why would you be fucking with somebody outside the tribe or outside of people that know who you are online? Like that's the only time it was brought up. And it was just like it was kind of like, let me give you a scenario of how that would be brought up, like every once in a blue moon or some shit like that. It would be like, oh yeah, wasn't even he met somebody before, like outside the tribe, like in terms of like maybe we could do the same thing. Maybe we can like not saying fuck with a 16-year-old, but maybe we can like meet people in the area, like locals in the area, and maybe have them join or teach them about what we know or show them who we are online and stuff like that. Because a lot of people were interested. Like you got to think, a group of black people walking around, you know what I mean? Just maybe even going to the store, like a restaurant or something like that. Or like, you got to think
Mhm.
like already kind of interested. Like, what the fuck is that? Like, what's going on here? We don't see that. It's Mexico. Like, this is Panama. Like, we don't see no shit like that. Or Puerto Rico. Like, we don't see nothing like that. So, of that magnitude. So, I mean, that's how it was brought up. I never knew that it was a 16-year-old, let alone he caught a case.
In another country. Okay. So now you see him getting worse as far as being agitated and more angry, and his demons are coming out more. And now you're hearing stories of him messing with women underage. Okay, the other incident you didn't know about. What were you starting to think at that time about this man who you called your Messiah?
Well, one, I didn't know that she was underage. No shit like that. You understand? I just found out just now. And then number two, I just felt like that story wasn't explained the right way, so I didn't feel no type of way about it. I was just like, oh, he met somebody. I didn't know that was the full fucking reason he left the country and all of that shit. Like I had no idea about that.
Mm-hmm.
So nothing really,
Now,
my perspective on him didn't change.
okay. So you just were like, you kind of dismissed it. I get it. Because you didn't know what was true or wasn't at the time. Did now, did he ever make any advances towards you? Because as we all know, he was definitely attracted to you. And I don't know if you know or not, but he said it on IG before while he was drunk. He said it plenty of times. So we don't want to, I don't want you to deviate or dismiss what I'm asking you. I would like for you to answer the question honestly. When did you find out that Nature Boy was sexually attracted to you?
Probably like let me think. Like Atlanta, like right before he got arrested, or I yeah, probably like Panama, because you got to think this man was. I'm not deviating from the question by saying this. I didn't find out until fucking like the last little minute because he was always trying to get at the women. So like I never really crossed my mind, but like I peeped it though. You know what I mean? Like at the end, like, damn, this dude is gay. This dude is bisexual or something, like, because the way he's talked about Juju one time, for example, like made me be like, this nigga is gay. Like, ain't no fucking way he not. He's like hiding that shit or something, or like something like that. But like, I didn't really find out until like